Hi, thank you so much for tuning
Hi.
in to Glenful House Wedding Fair, and we're joined now with one of our professional partners, which is Joanna Parker Catering.
Hi.
Hi, Joe. You okay?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Yeah. So, Joe, I thought you could kickstart our live today with just sort of introducing yourself and letting everyone know a little bit about yourself.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. My name's Jo, and my company is Joanna Parker Catering. I've been doing this sort of type of catering probably for the last 10 years or so, but I've been in the hospitality industry my entire working life, mainly in sort of 5-star hotels in London. So lots and lots of experience. And I'm based up in around Gloucestershire. I cover all, over, but I've obviously Glenful House have put me on there as one of their professional partners, which is brilliant. And yes.
The very experienced then was what we took away from that. Extremely experienced.
Well, I like to think so.
So Joanna, if I was to ask you if there was a specific cuisine that you felt that you specialised in, is that yes or a no, or how does that work?
No, not really. My menus cover, a whole range of sort of, classic British, a bit of French. I mean, I've got a few sort of Japanesey, Orientally inspired dishes on my menus. So no, I definitely don't specialise in just one. I think there are too many fantastic dishes from all around the world to cover. So no, and I'm very happy. I did a party ages ago, and they were Norwegian, and they wanted some sort of like Norwegian-y type things. So anything and everything really. And as I don't stick to my menus, I can go off piste if anybody wants something particular.
Oh, brilliant. So I mean, if somebody was interested in booking with yourself, could you explain a little bit about how the process works with you individually?
Yeah, well, I mean, initially, I would send my menus over initially so they can have a look and see, the sort of thing I do, whether it's something they're after. I can give initial ballpark figure prices, but I like to have a chat, ideally on the phone or a Zoom, whatever, to just sort of fine tune a few things. Because as we all know, weddings are a sort of big, expensive day. And the clearer idea I can get about what people want, then the more accurate my quote can be. A large part of the cost is staffing. So if they were wanting staff there the entire day, that would affect the quote. Whereas if it was just like a very simple couple of hours in an afternoon type thing, then that would have an effect on the price. And then I would then do a more detailed quote once I know exactly what they want. And then if they like the sound of that, then I would suggest a meetup, food tasting, that sort of thing.
Okay, and so from the gist of that, then there's no sort of set what they must have with you. So they don't have to have a full sit-down 3-course meal with canapes and evening food. You would be happy to just do something for a few hours.
I do, yeah, and yeah. And I'm really, really flexible, and because it's just me, and I can do whatever I like, and I'll do whatever the client wants, to be perfectly honest. I'm doing a wedding this summer, and they're providing all the meat and the cheeses because their parents come from France. So I'm just providing salads, and I'll cook the meats and cheeses, whatever, So, and if people want wedding cake as their dessert, that's absolutely fine. And I would only charge for putting on extra berries and extra fruit. Whereas I know some caterers aren't that keen on doing that, but I'll do whatever, to be perfectly honest. Within reason, of course. Within reason.
Here at Glenful, because we love the flexibility.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing to us here at Glenful, and we feel that the suppliers that are our professional partners should also have that ethos, which obviously you do.
No, absolutely.
So is there anything that's always included when anyone would book with you, or
is there anything that's always included?
So you mentioned staffing, like linen.
Well, it varies. I sometimes include staff, sometimes don't, sometimes do it as an extra because it is a huge cost. I think generally all the weddings I've done or am doing at Glenful, staff, I've included staff in the cost. I know a lot of brides like to know the figure and they don't want to suddenly get a nasty thing at the end, you know, because I've underestimated or something like that. So generally I include the staff. You know, I might charge extra if they want staff in the evening to man a bar, or which wouldn't probably necessarily work, it wouldn't be the case at Glenful, or, you know, evening food might be an extra staffing cost. So yeah, and so crockery and cutlery is 9 times out of 10 included in the quote, certainly at Glenful.
I suppose it all depends on the venue, where the couple are getting.
Yeah, definitely. So you know, at Glenful, you've got lots of lovely crockery and cutlery already there, so you know it makes sense to use it. But you know, I can hire it in, so if needs be.
Again, very flexible.
Yes.
So I'm not going to keep you too long. We've not had any live questions come through. Obviously, if anyone is listening and you've got any questions for Joanna, please just feel free to pop them in the comments. But alternatively, I'm going to start to wrap up and just, you know, I won't keep you very long. So I'm just going to have one final question, and it's a little bit of a fun one. So in your opinion, what's your most popular item on your menu?
At the moment, well, not at the moment because we're not doing a lot, you know, other than the odd dinner for 2 and stuff here, is beef Wellington.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing that for a large number, I have to say. But as for a smaller event, beef Wellington's popular, I have to say. I mean, you know, and the other one that I've done quite recently, well, quite a lot in weddings, not last year, it was the year before, wasn't it now?
No.
You know, it was whole fillets of beef. Oh, nice. Which I prefer to cook the whole fillet rather than just doing the individuals, and then I'd slice it and, you know, serve it with salsa verde or something, you know, something like béarnaise, something like that. But beef's always popular. Expensive though, unfortunately. It's not the cheaper end of the scale.
Yeah, but you don't want, you know, one thing you definitely want to avoid on a wedding is hangry guests. You want everybody with happy bellies and happy faces as a result, don't you? The catering's so important.
Yeah, well, that's why I always say, you know, try and have canapes, you know, especially if you know you're going to have a long you know, time between the service and the sit down, you know, when you want loads of photos and stuff, definitely have canapes, because it's nothing worse than a hangry guest who then, you know, drink too, you know, the alcohol gets in and people get hungry and they want to move. So, you know, I think canapes is always, and it doesn't have to be lots of canapes. It could just be you know, a cup 3 or, you know, 2, 3, 4 per head, just to take the edge off, I suppose.
Oh, brilliant. Well,
okay.
As I said, these are short and sweet today, but
no, that's brilliant.
More questions I could have asked you, but we really appreciate you spending some time
with us.
That's
no problem at all.
So yeah, anybody, I'm going to pop up Joanna's contact details now. So if you wanted to get in touch with Joanna directly, then obviously you can use the email or contact telephone number at the bottom. Alternatively, Joanna's one of our professional partners here. So, you know, you can go through Kat, who deals with our catering, and we can speak to Joanna, we can build the menus, we can put you in touch with each other. But yeah, if there's anything at all that we haven't covered today, because it was so brief, just feel free to get in touch with either myself or Joanna, and we can come back to you straight away. So Joanna, thank you so much for
no problem at all.
Really nice to speak to you, and enjoy the
rest. Hope it all goes. The rest of the day goes well.
Yeah, so far so good. We're getting quite good at these lives and virtuals now.
Well, hopefully we'll look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Yeah. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, Joanna.
Thank you ever so much. Bye.
Bye.